Hey, what's up everyone, TJ here. Today we're testing out the Never Summer Snowtrooper in collaboration with Snowboard Magazine. And in this video, I'm gonna run through all the tech you're gonna find in this snowboard and share some feedback on how it's feeling out here on snow. Big thank you to Snowboard Mag for supporting the channel. The magazine is available now. If you wanna get your hands on it, I'm gonna have that linked down in the description below. So please make sure to check that out. Let's get into the video. All right, real quick for reference before we jump into the tech. I'm 5'10", I weigh around 155 pounds, and I'm riding the Snowtrooper in a 156. This is gonna be an all mountain free ride kind of board on the Never Summer lineup, and it's a directional twin. So it's gonna feel very similar riding in both your regular direction and switch, but you are gonna find a slight setback in this snowboard. It's got a 0.6 inch or 1.5 centimeter setback. So the insert packs are shifted ever so slightly closer to the tail of the snowboard. This snowboard's gonna run Never Summer's original rocker camber profile. So you're gonna find a reverse camber section that's pretty long between the feet, and then camber zone starting underfoot going out into the tips of the snowboard to give it a little bit more energy and precision. But overall, this is gonna be a rocker dominant snowboard and give you the benefits of reverse camber. That's gonna be things like quick and easy turn initiation, more leverage leaning into the nose or tail for presses and butters to get more flex out of the snowboard, as well as make the board a little bit less catchy when you're flat base, as well as offer a benefit in soft snow. There's some other tech I want to highlight in the Snowtrooper as well. First is their power grip side cut. So that's some very mellow added contact points built into the side cut to help provide more grip in icy firm snow and help you feel a little bit more confident and in control in those conditions. There's also some carbon built into the snowboard. You're gonna find 2 carbon V's in both the tip and the tail, one running from right underfoot out to the contact points for more edge to edge response, and a smaller one a little bit more in the tips just to help provide a little bit of dampening and also a little bit more energy for more pop. Other than that, you're gonna find multiple dampening technologies built into the Snowtrooper, as you'll find in pretty much all Never Summers, to help mellow out vibrations and reduce chatter, especially as you get the board up to higher speeds. And you're also gonna get a sintered base in this board, which is known to be a higher end base material that's harder, faster, and more durable compared to an extruded base. You do wanna make sure to wax it regularly to maintain a nice fast glide out there, but it's always a nice thing to see in the construction of a snowboard. So that's gonna be it for a quick tech breakdown. Let's jump into how this snowboard feels out on the mountain. All right, let's start off talking about the flex. This board is actually a little bit stiffer than I thought it was gonna be. I'd say it's a little bit on the stiffer side of medium. It's a board that you're gonna be able to progress with up to a more aggressive riding style. You're gonna be able to stand up to that type of riding very well. And it has a torsional flex to match. So as you're out there exploring, if you find yourself in more chopped up, rough conditions, it's gonna be able to power through that kind of snow with a confident feel and not get bucked around too much. And when it comes to flat ground and butter type tricks, you can definitely have a good time on this snowboard, but you are gonna be working against that stiffer flex that makes it a little bit more challenging. But the one thing that I think helps the most is that rocker dominant profile. It's gonna give you more leverage leaning into the tips, as well as give you a larger platform to balance on doing that kind of stuff. So it has a pretty fun feel to it. Another thing is you can kind of rock along that profile to get the tips off the snowboard a little bit without very much effort before you start loading up tension into the snowboard and working against that flex. So that's gonna make it a little bit easier as well. I will say that this board is fairly precise, so I would be paying attention to your edges if you are trying to do that kind of stuff. And something else that kind of goes along with that is the way the board feels for loading up pop and tension. Like I mentioned, you have to kind of rock to the end of the profile before you start loading tension up in the snowboard. So it has a bit of a different feel to it compared to camber dominant profiles, but once you figure it out, you can definitely get some good snap and energy out of this thing. And I think that stiffer flex combined with the carbon is gonna offer some decent energy out of the Snowtrooper. I was able to get quite a few park laps out here at Keystone today feeling this thing out, and we had somewhat challenging conditions, primarily because of the visibility, but still had a good time in there. And I would say overall, for more freestyle focused riding, particularly in the terrain park, this thing is gonna be a little bit more jump leaning. It's gonna have plenty of stability for that kind of riding, even as you progress to the larger features. I think that rocker dominant profile makes it a little bit easier to initiate rotations as well, which has a really good feel on the takeoff on jumps. And while this board might not be the best for like straight jib focused progression, it's not so stiff that that's going to be very uncomfortable either. So pretty fun board for all around park laps if you're trying to spend some time in there, and definitely going to be a good choice for hunting down natural features and hitting side hits and all that kind of stuff as well. I also want to talk about the carving experience on this snowboard, and I think one of the most noticeable things with the feel comes from that rocker camber profile. As soon as you get this board on edge, it wants to arc into a turn. It's very easy to initiate turns on this thing. It's great for those early stages of progression and is a nice feel even if you're a more experienced rider as well. And that reverse camber between the feet also kind of acts as a pivot point, which is going to offer a very quick edge-to-edge transition. And as you start to push this snowboard and get it up to higher speeds, I think it's going to come through with some pretty solid stability. I think the dampening technology built into this snowboard, as well as that stiffer flex, is going to come through to really eliminate most chatter you're going to find in it. Despite that rocker dominant profile, I don't think that's something that's going to be an issue for you. And it also has quite a locked in feel to it. I think this board holds a very strong edge and is going to be able to power through more variable chopped up conditions as well. So if you're using this board for more all mountain exploring, whether that's in the trees, more alpine terrain, or just kind of trying to bomb some groomers, I think it's going to hold up really well and offer a confident feel even as you progress to a more aggressive style of riding. And when it comes to powder and softer snow, obviously I wasn't able to test the board in those conditions today, but you are going to get a couple benefits to offer some versatility for that kind of riding, mainly coming from the profile as well as a setback. So not going to be a powder specialist, but if you do find yourself out on a deeper day, you are going to get a slight benefit there. Overall, I think this board is going to be a good choice as just an all-around resort explorer. It's going to be a very versatile board that you can really progress with as you're dialing in your riding style before committing to a freestyle or free ride specific kind of snowboard. Or if you just want something that's going to be a good time in a wide variety of conditions and terrain, you can take out on any day and have fun with it, it's going to be a solid choice. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, check out the Never Summer Snowtrooper. I'm going to have this snowboard linked down in the description below if you want to check it out in a little bit more detail. And if you've had a chance to ride this board, let us know what you think about it down in the comments. You can leave any questions for me down there as well. Drop a like if you got some value. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you for watching today, and I will see you in a new video next time.